Hey, what's up everyone? Nelson here with Life on the Dirt Circuit. Hope you're doing well, having a great fall season so far. So here's what I want to do this video. I wanted to update you on a couple things that are going to be changing as far as LIV Golf's first official season in 2023. Obviously, this was kind of their beta run this year with 8 events, but next year will be their first full season. So I'm going to explain a couple things that I don't think many people know as far as how it's going to work. But first thing I'm going to start with is the team concept and the franchise model, which is what they're building this entire business model on. So that each individual team that has a team captain like Dustin Johnson, Bubba Watson, Bryson DeChambeau, those are some of the team captains, Phil Mickelson, Cameron Smith. LIV Golf owns 75% of the teams, and those captains own the other 25%. So this year, LIV Golf covered pretty much all the expenses of travel, room, board, things like that. Next year, that will actually be up to each individual team. Like this will literally be run like an NBA team. They'll cover their own expenses and things like that. What's really cool about that, they'll be in charge of their own team names, branding, apparel deals, things like that. Obviously, logo merchandise that they can make money on. I'm sure they'll have social media accounts where that'll add another revenue platform for them. But it's really cool. I saw that, Bubba Watson, he's going to be hiring, a full-time business manager, probably, maybe a brand manager, things like that. They're going to build out a team just like a normal franchise would. And as LIV Golf will continue to grow, which I firmly believe it will, they'll be able to sell their rights, when they're ready to retire, to a younger golfer, and they'll be able to manage that team. So when you think about the team dynamic, that opens up the doors for trading players, which one has already happened. Taylor Gooch is not going to be a part of Dustin Johnson's team anymore. He's moving to Bubba Watson's team, I believe, in trade for Peter Uihlein. I don't know if that's official yet, but it's going to happen. But also, too, I know Bryson DeChambeau talked about that part of the reason he recruited Araban Lahiri to his team is because of his connection in India and them wanting to potentially buy land and maybe build a golf course because it's so hard if you're, not from India to be able to do that. So I don't know where the limit is or the ceiling for the potential of building a brand and a franchise is, but I think it opens up a lot of doors, especially on a global scale, to be able to create profit, to be able to build a brand, to create buy-in from viewership, which is absolutely key. And then moving forward next year, they're also going to have 14 tournaments instead of 8. And then the other thing, too, as they go forward, one of the things they're going to have to do to be successful, they're going to have to get a TV contract. They know that. Now, some people at first have to buy air on TV in order to be, successful, get viewership up. But they're in talks right now with a few different TV networks. I don't know which ones. I don't know which one's going to pull the trigger, but some sources close have said that they do firmly believe that they will have a TV deal before the start of the 2023 season. Also, this year there were 48 players total. Next year there will be 60. They will have reserves in case someone gets injured, maybe is playing bad, be able to substitute them in, what have you. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a crazy season we're in, but there's something about that franchise model that I think could really work long time. I know the team names were a little interesting this year. Like Bubba Watson already said he was in talks of changing his team name. So I think it's going to be really interesting what happens next year. But what I will tell you, I know a lot of people, you may not have seen the team championship. There is certainly an appetite for that format, which you can go back and look. Like the first couple days were each team, they had an individual match, and then they also had a team match. And, first to 3 points, they advanced. And then the final day in stroke play, all 4 players on the team counted their score. It was team versus team, lowest score wins. And I'll tell you, I know Dustin Johnson's made a lot of money in his career, but I don't think you can fake the nerves he had over that 3-footer on the last hole to win the team championship. So interesting things coming down the line. Again, a TV contract is going to be huge for them being successful going forward. And also, I mean, from a branding standpoint, I don't know how much LIV is going to actually contribute and pay towards the franchise. They said 75%, but I don't know what that 75% ownership entails as far as what they're going to be contributing. I know they're working on global partnerships and you know, all the corporate sponsors to make it run. And what those corporate sponsors are waiting on is a TV deal. So I know there were a couple TV broadcast stations that wanted to produce the last event in Miami, but they didn't work it out just for contract reasons. Interesting times to come, man. Interesting times to come. I do not know what the future is, but I just have a gut feeling, whether you're for it, against it, it doesn't matter. I'm for the game of golf. I do think this is going to be here to stay for the long haul, because one of the things they're talking about is a lack of viewership on LIV is really going to hurt them. All they're counting is YouTube numbers. What people don't know, they're also on 180 channels streaming for free throughout the world. Those numbers were not calculated. The numbers that were streamed directly from their website views were not calculated, because you could stream it directly from the website. So interesting things to come next year. I'm not quite sure the location of the tournaments, but I think it's exciting. I think it's going to completely change the game of golf, the professional landscape forever. And here's the last thing I'll leave you with. A couple of the big targets that are rumored to be heading over. Thomas Pieters is one, but the two biggest names you guys probably care about, Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay. And I'm telling you, if they get those two, that's going to be hard to turn around for the PGA Tour. Because those are some very, very big names that they're getting in only 24 rounds of golf that they've played so far. So, interesting times to come. Enjoy. Stay tuned for more content in the future. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It helps us out. And look forward to adding more valuable content to you in the future. See ya.